Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today I'm taking out the Honda GB350S, courtesy of CJ Ball in Norwich. They've got a demo day on today and I'm lucky enough to be on this little beauty. Loving it. So it's a single cylinder air-cooled engine producing 21 horsepower, 29 newton meters of torque, and I've been on it for a couple of minutes and absolutely loving it. What a lovely feel-good bike. And let's talk about that price point as well. You know, coming in at $3,949 for a brand new Honda, you know, with full warranty. You know, that is pretty good. I did find it quite tall for an 800mm height seat. You know, I think that's because it's quite wide. I was on the sort of balls of my feet, tiptoes. You know, I'm 5'6", 5'6.5", 29-inch inseam, but the seat is very comfy, and the whole seating position, you know, is also very, very comfy. You know, I could be sat like this, like, you know, with the length of my arms and just how comfortable my shoulders are. You know, I think I could be sat like this for quite a while. I'd be very happy. I think in a moment we'll take a stop and have a quick look around the bike. Before we take a stop and walk around the GB350S, I just want to say a massive thank you to today's sponsor of this video, BikeSure. BikeSure is one of the UK's leading motorcycle insurance specialists, working with over 40 insurance schemes to find you the best deal. Be sure to ask about their policy add-ons such as personal accident cover, excess protect, helmet and leather cover, as there's lots to tailor for your specific needs. I've been insured with BikeSure for the past 7 years, and their customer service has always been spot on. And with over 20,000 reviews on Trustpilot rating them 4.4 out of 5 stars, it looks like that I'm not the only one who's happy with them. If you own more than one bike, they offer a flexible multi-bike policy. And if you're into your track days and love carving up corners on the circuit, BikeSure even offers track day insurance for more than 30 track venues throughout the UK. So in summary, if you need great bike insurance, make sure you check out BikeSure. And once again, a massive thank you from me. Meanwhile, let's get back to the video and have a look around that Honda. Oh, well, there it is. Look at that. What a beauty. Oh, what a lovely bike to enter the 400cc modern retro scene at the minute. Just glistening in the sun, and that colour was really nice. So it's a 348cc engine, air-cooled, 21 horsepower, 29 newton meters of torque. And I think that it looks really smart. You know, I think a lot of people will fall in love with the look of that engine for sure. Yeah, very nice. And we move around to the front of the bike. You can see we've got some Nissan brakes. I really rate Nissan. And some crash bars too. Loving the look of those front shock gaiters as well. Really adds to the retro look. And those Mickey Mouse mirrors in the chrome, they look really smart. I imagine a lot of people will put some bar ends on there, but you know, each their own with taste there. And the exhaust. We'll do a little sound check soon, but yeah, that really does sound fantastic. Now we've got the dual rear shocks. Yeah, I didn't find them wallowy at all. Yeah, really nice, very plush, comfy ride. And look at the seat. It's got some gorgeous red stitching to it. Really nice. Feel is, yeah, it's almost like a gel-like feel. But yeah, quite cushiony. That's really nice. Yeah, got some nice tank grips there, like in the side of the tank. I do wonder whether they're standard. I want to say maybe they are. Maybe not, but they don't cost a lot. Yeah, so the bike, it weighs 178 kilos. So, you know, a good size. But look at that. Isn't it just such a nice bike? Right, let's get back out there. Yeah, just do a quick sound check. I mean, because listen to this. That sounds really good. Some lovely popping there. Lovely popping. Right. Side stand's easy to operate. What a nice nimble bike to move around. Awesome. Woo-hoo! So I'm looking down and, you know, everything kind of, you know, looks pretty good. You know, I know that they're trying to get to a price point, you know, which they have done. And yeah, I mean, we've got an analog speedo with, you know, a very small LCD display telling you what gear you're in, the time, how much fuel you've got left. Just about all you need, really. Simplistic riding. We got fog lights, which was a surprise. I didn't know about that. That's pretty cool. So what's the bike like to handle? Well, I was intrigued by this because it's got a 19-inch front wheel. That's the same as the Triumph Tiger 900. So yeah, 17-inch on the back, 19-inch on the front. Metzeler Tourance next tyres. You know, so it's not going to be you know, super nimble, you know, but it feels fine. It feels lovely. You know, it feels like a good size bike. It doesn't feel like I'm on a you know, a tiny bike. It doesn't feel like I'm on a big bike, but you know, it feels a good size. You know, coming in at 178 kilos, you know, it is a good size. Well, let's talk about the tank. 15-litre tank with an acclaimed 350 mile plus range. I'm not sure about that. I did do a little bit of reading, and the real world test, you know, gives around about 220, 230 mile range, but even that is pretty good, right? You know, recently on a channel that I watch quite a lot, Freddie Dobbs, I'll leave a link below. Yeah, he's got a great channel. He talks about, you know, the fact that, you know, is basic a bad thing? You know, we do sort of live in a world where, you know, we all want more and better, and, you know, perceived value that something is better if it's more expensive and all of that. You know, but really, getting out on your bike, it's just about going out and having fun. The roads, the sun, the bike, the noise, the freedom, the camaraderie, you know, of being a biker. I mean, look at these roads, look. It doesn't matter if you're on a £3,949 bike or a, you know, £23,000 £495 bike. The difference in fun, you know, isn't going to be, you know, pound for pound, you know, an awful lot more. You know, in my opinion, when you boil down to, you know, what it's all about, and you can't have it all. So this price point for this bike and this level of fun and this amount of smiles it's going to give you, because, you know, I'm absolutely loving this. You know, I say go for it. Yeah, go for it. Well done, Honda. And thank you, CJ Bull. Woo-hoo! Shall we see what it's like on a dual carriageway? Okay, we are pinned. Don't quite reach 60. Oh, sorry, 70. We're at 65. Gonna get to 70. We're at 70. So my final thoughts on the bike are, you know, what a lovely, smart looking bike. You know, I'd feel very pleased to be pulling up anywhere on this and just parking up, you know, at bike meets. Very, very cool. Yeah, and for the price point, at under £4,000, you know, you'd be very happy. The other thing as well is I reckon that this bike will be very customizable. You know, in a year or so's time, you're going to see a lot of these around, and you'll see a lot with you know, some personality added to them. I can see that for sure. All right, anyway folks, thank you for tuning in. I better fill this up and give it back, and we will see you in the next one. Cheers, bye bye.